Hi everyone, I'm Chris Coombs, chef and owner of Duov Restaurant in Boston, Massachusetts.
And I'm Adrienne Wright, executive chef.
Very excited today to be a part of January's You and Julia feature with WGBH, where we'll be featuring Julia Child's take on French onion soup, a classic that we've served here at Duov for the last 9 years.
So follow along at home as we go through step by step this recipe. And above all, be fearless and have fun.
This is soupe à l'oignon gratiné. I'm just putting a lot of cheese on the top of it. And then a little bit of oil goes on. And then it's going to go into the oven. And it's going to bake so all the cheese melts. And it's going to come out wonderfully browned and beautiful smelling. We're doing making your own onion soup.
This is a dish that we've been so proud of for so many years.
There are some subtle differences between Julia's recipe and our recipe.
Absolutely.
But in ode to her today, we're using cognac in our recipe, which is exactly what Julia uses.
And there's really so many different things that you can try at home to experiment with cooking, to learn, and to really just have so much fun with it.
Which is really the spirit of Julia Child's cooking.
It is.
Was have fun, experiment, and make the recipe your own.
Right, and to educate an entire generation of people to cook at home. I mean, how cool is that?
I did grow up watching Julia Child on TV with my grandfather, who loved to cook and would make us her French onion soup.
I can remember so many times through my professional career referencing her Mastering French Cooking book, working in French restaurants. I still use her pipperade recipe to this day. She was really the first person to go on TV and be completely educational, completely spot on, and so entertaining with her cooking as well. I think she really made cooking fun.
And her legacy is still growing. She's still inspiring home cooks to try out new recipes. And that's really, I think, the spirit of this WGBH challenge.
Absolutely.
This is about 5 to 6 cups of thinly sliced onion, a little bit of canola oil, and we're gonna put this in a wide pot and get this started cooking. It's gonna take a long time to caramelize and a lot of love.
That's true. We don't ever want to start our pan too hot, right, Chef?
Exactly.
So we're gonna put that on a nice medium-low heat.
So you're gonna come back and stir these onions about every 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your heat on your burner, but they should be about medium-low. And I like to say a watched onion never caramelizes.
I think you're right.
So, find another project to do in the meantime.
Yeah, go watch Julia Child reruns.
There you go.
There you go. So this is the most exciting time in the cooking process. The onions are done. The onions are done, Chef.
So we'll pull these up here so you can see. These are totally caramelized, way darker than what you would usually use as caramelized onions.
How can you tell, Chef?
So I say that your onions are done when what you're stirring up from the bottom of the pan, that's kind of the caramelization surface, is the same color as what you've got for cooked onions. So you can't tell the difference between what you're scraping up off the bottom and what you have for onions.
Nice even coloration, understood. So Chef, I heard that Julia Child loved to cook with booze. So do I. So we have some beautiful French brandy here, keeping with the French theme. And we're just gonna go with a little bit.
Perfect.
It's a little early in the day for us, but normally we'd have a little taste ourselves.
In Julia's spirit.
In Julia's spirit, of course, for no other reason. So we're in with a little bit of brandy, and that's going to kind of deglaze what's left of the pan. And then separately, we have this beautiful fortified beef stock. Okay, so we're going to go with a little bit of fortified beef stock. Just stir that in. So we've added that in. Beautiful.
I would say about 5 to 6 cups.
That's probably about right. And then we go in with a bay leaf. Fresh bay leaf if you don't have fresh. You can use dry, and then we have some nice fresh thyme as well. I think, didn't Julia use a little bit of sage in her version of French onion soup?
She did. So we're gonna put this back on, let those flavors really infuse, reduce that beef stock just a little bit. So I think we're time for assembly. So you grate cheese and I'll start filling.
Sounds like a plan. I have this beautiful cheese. We use a cheese from the Euro region of France. This is called Comté. And basically we just have a nice box grater. You want to be careful to keep your knuckles back when you use a box grater. And we're just going to make nice long grates of cheese. And that's really, when you're making French onion soup, the cheese is really what makes it. So Adrian so kindly filled our French onion soup bowls almost to the brim. We actually have some French baguette croutons here. These are toasted with salt, pepper, and a little bit of bone marrow for a little bit more body and depth, as if we needed any more body and depth. So we just place those in there nicely. And then when we're placing our cheese on top, we just want to use the bread as a wrap. And we want the cheese to be messy, because that's the nature of French onion soup, right? This is a messy, rustic, beautiful interpretation that Julia just did such a nice job with. So we're going to stack that up high. And then at this point, if you're making this at home, you want to get that broiler function that you very rarely ever use on your own home oven. You want to get that on about as high as it'll go, right, Chef?
Absolutely. And we're looking for bubbly and caramelized on this cheese. You really want a little bit of like the individual brown spots for a perfect French onion soup.
I agree.
There we go. Okay, so we've got these.
Look at that.
Nice light caramelization on our cheese, right?
Perfect.
Still bubbling. I mean, beautiful.
Looks good. So for the finishing shot, you know, Julia used to finish her French onion soup with raw grated onion, but in this modern day, our raw onion component is something a little bit different. We just take a little bit of fresh chive right on top for our finish. And there you go. That's a beautiful, perfect French onion soup. Should we taste it?
Absolutely.
I think so. All that hard work. Might as well. All right. What you dig in first there, Chef? Whoa. That's the best part, huh? Look at that. How'd it come out? Ooh. Love that. Very nice. Nice job, Chef.